Yo, so two things happened yesterday, and I love my two things graphic. I need to use it more. One, I posted the longest preview that I have ever done on one game before, and my favorite part was the comments. There was some great insight from you guys in there that I was either unaware of or that I was aware of at some point, but my ping pong sized brain can only handle so much information at a time. So thank you for that. I love learning from you guys. And two, I asked you on Twitter about what I should talk about today, and I got some very good topics for this week's Very Curious News from around the globe with the amazing Conrad. Very curious news item number one. Antoine Griezmann is not going to Manchester United. And let's be honest, he never was. He has a €100 million buyout clause in his contract, which even with a rich club like Manchester United has to give them a slight pause. Like, whoa, that is a lot. We just did it last season with Paul Pogba. We maybe get 2 or 3 players for that price, so maybe they're like, eh. But more than that, Atletico Madrid have just been subjected to a transfer ban. So if Griezmann left, they'd have nobody to replace him with, like Diego Costa or Alexander Lacazette. And that would be tragic because Atleti is opening a brand new stadium next season. So it is imperative that they keep their best and most popular player on the team to win games, of course, but also to sell tickets and jerseys, because I'm sure building that stadium was not cheap. That said, if he left, they still have Kevin Gameiro on the squad, and Kevin Gameiro is the fucking man because I once cured him from the almost career-ending Gamero-itis. Also, from Manchester United's perspective, I'm sure they're disappointed on missing out on Griezmann, but they can now focus their attention on finalizing their deal for Ivan Perisic, who was one of the few bright spots for Inter Milan last season and who, at the age of 28, is entering into his prime and who has game-changing ability out on the wing, which United or any other club could use, though I think they might have overpaid for him. But whatever, they're Manchester United. Overpaying is what they do, so who gives a f? And also, it gives United a chance to find another striker elsewhere, like in France for Alexander Lacazette, or in Italy for Andrea Belotti, or maybe they keep it in England and get Romelu Lukaku. My guess is that they're gonna nab one of those three. Very curious news item number two. The U20 World Cup quarterfinals are this weekend, and the US, who stomped on New Zealand 6-0 in the round of 16, are playing very well, and that makes me very proud. But they're gonna be facing off against Venezuela, which on paper, you would think the US would continue to roll, but you'd be wrong because Venezuela have been lights out this tournament. They've conceded 0 goals, and they've beaten Japan, Mexico, and Germany along the way, so I actually think that they are the slight favorites in this matchup. As for the other quarterfinals, Portugal are taking on Uruguay. Italy are taking on Zambia, and the winner of that game will play against the US. Well, let's I couldn't get that out. And Mexico takes on England. Si se puede, amigos. And here are my picks for this. Well, Portugal are 1-1-1 in the group stages, but they beat the host Korea 3-1 in the round of 16, so that could give them some necessary momentum. But they're going to face off against a very good Uruguay team that have yet to concede a goal, just like Venezuela, and have yet to lose. So I'm going with the hot hand. I think Uruguay does it. While Italy, who upset one of the tournament favorites, France, 2-1 in the round of 16, are not gonna get past Zambia because the African champions, who beat one of the other tournament favorites, Germany, in a 4-3 extra time thriller, are into the U20 World Cup quarterfinals for the first time in their history. And I truly believe that they're gonna continue to use this positive energy to achieve positive things. And finally, I'm going with Mexico over England in penalties because England losing in penalties seems to be a tradition. Very curious news item number 3. Every league in the world is a feeder league. Not just the Eredivisie or any other league that is not considered one of the top 5 in Europe. Every single league. Gareth Bale got sold from Tottenham. Toni Kroos got sold from Bayern Munich. Paul Pogba got sold from Juventus. Alexis Sanchez got sold from Barcelona. It's just how it works. So my issue with MLS is that it seems, and I want to emphasize the word seems, like we're afraid to embrace the idea of being a feeder league because fans in this country who have only grown up knowing that the best leagues in the world for basketball, baseball, American football, and hockey are in this country because USA, man! Well, they won't accept the fact that our American soccer league isn't the best in the world too. But if MLS as a league were more candid and frankly more confident about the subject instead of pretending that it didn't exist, or even worse, remaining steadfast that, hey listen, we are not a feeder league. We want to keep all of our best players. And no shit, every league wants to keep all of their best players, but it doesn't always work out that way. The other major sports in this country,
football, baseball.
Come on! don't have to compete against other major leagues elsewhere, or if there are some other major leagues, they don't have the credibility of an NFL or an NBA, whereas MLS has to compete in a global market, and that's okay. But this is the vibe they seem to put out, and maybe it's because they fear that closed-minded fans, who they're working so hard to win over, might not support the league if MLS acknowledges this fact. But let me tell you something, these people are not gonna support the league anyway, so f them. We're a feeder league, who cares? So is everybody else. All right, that's it. I'm gonna stop here because I'm getting a little fired up because I could go on and on and on about the sports in this country, and I'm not sure you guys are ready for back-to-back 20-minute videos on my channel yet, but maybe in the near future. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy the Champions League final, and I will see you when I see you. Later.